What's happening? Today, talking about the Neewer. It is the Neewer CM26 Pro model lavalier microphone. This particular model comes with a self-charging case. The case itself holds two microphones and a receiver, so you have two transmitters that fit in here and charge, and then the receiver, which is currently plugged into the camera. This comes in this. So we've got this self-charging case that goes inside this. Inside this, you've got some dividers, right? So we got an additional USB charging cable, an auxiliary to connect to other cameras like your 8 to 8 adapter, the little user manual. On the other side, there are a number of other little spaces that hold your windscreens. There are two. Your adapters. So this is the lightning adapter. The receiver itself runs off of USB-C, so it's USB-C to lightning. It also comes with a USB-C to USB-C adapter. And the magnets, right? So on these microphones, you have the alligator clip. Let's see if I can, there we go. And then a magnet that fits on there, like what I have here on my shirt. Let's talk about the good. For the price point, you get some good quality. The audio is not bad at all. It's not top of the line, it's not bottom of the barrel. It's right there in the middle, and it's to be expected at that price point. Now, it does exactly what it's supposed to do, and it does it in stereo if you want it to. It'll also do it in mono if you want it to. Pretty cool thing that a lot of the lower end stuff doesn't do, but on the receiver itself, look at the pictures in the review, you'll see what I'm talking about. There is an option on there. There's a series of buttons that you can push to change the settings on that. The manual is great. It's well translated, fine print, so you may have to break out something like magnifying glass if you're like me and you're old. You don't have cross interference. If you're running both microphones relatively close to each other, you're not going to get that common high frequency noise. Self-charging is fantastic. Comes with the windscreens. They clip onto the microphones. As seen in the pictures, they literally just clip on. Clip and twist. And then you have that, you're set up. All right, let's talk about compatibility. So in testing, it works with iPhones as long as they're, I think that iOS has to be 5.5 or newer. Don't quote me on that. It was very difficult to find a phone that had that had something that old. But it worked on all the iOS platforms that I utilized it on, including an older iPad, a newer iPad, and then an iPhone 15 is the newest iPhone that I used it on. No problems at all. Android. So the cool thing about Android, and don't get me wrong, hey, the Android people, you can be mad at the Apple people, and Apple people, you can be mad at Android, but they have their strengths and their weaknesses. There were absolutely zero issues with all of the Androids. There was no trying to find out whether or not it was compatible or not. You plug the dude in and it worked. Good stuff. Let's talk about cameras. It comes with that 1/8 inch cable, which is good because the receiver has its own internal battery. Now, I don't know how large that is. It's a small receiver. It's not that much bigger than the mic itself. So I don't know how long it would last. I would assume that you would be able to get a number of hours out of it. The flip side of that is when you're using it as a USB-C in, like, say, an action camera, or like DJI makes a couple of action cameras, like the Osmo. Insta360 makes several action cameras that have the USB-C compatibility. And specifically, I can talk about the Ultra Go model, the newer model that just came out. It will not work with any of those. My Osmos it wouldn't work with. It would not work with the Ultra from the Insta360 line. It wouldn't work with an older Sony, all on USB-C. But if you use the 1/8 inch in, if you have a compatible camera that uses the 1/8 inch in, it will work, no problem at all. Just change your audio device, your input on your camera in the menu. Let's talk about the bad. If you're like me, you don't want to have to carry 47 things. You only have two hands, right? So something that really bothers me, I still have this open. Some other brands, you can leave your stuff on and close it. You cannot with this particular. You have to take your accessories off in order to close it. i.e., you have to have their little accessory bag to store all your stuff. That to me is frustrating. The other thing that's frustrating is the adapters. If you are running your adapter your device is not sitting straight out. It's discombobulated. I'll take a picture of it and plugged into a phone so you know what I'm talking about. In reference to using it on a camera like a DSLR or something like that, it's not a problem because you can set it off to the side, clip it to something, and it's fine. The receiver does have an alligator clip just like the mics do. So having to carry an extra little bag, plus the charging case, and then the mounting of the receiver. Overall, it works great. Pretty impressed with the audio quality. Execution could have been a little bit different. I think taking input from people that use it would have helped them a lot. That's not a dig. I know when I'm going to shoot some content, I don't want to have to bring 15 things. I want to grab something and go, and that's it. It just makes it a lot harder for me to do that. Your mileage may vary. I'm not knocking this system at all. It works. It may just become a dedicated camera unit instead of a phone system. And that's a personal preference. You know, you do you. Would I recommend it? Sure. If you're looking for quality, your budget's here, and you don't want to go over that, and you don't really want to go down, I will say that there are some other options out there, but we're not talking about those right now. Thanks for listening.